Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic Wednesday, wherever we are around the world. Hopefully, everyone's good. Hopefully, everyone is still in a good mood, of course, from Liverpool beating Lille by 2-1. And it is a kind of different video today, of course. We're going to be talking more, of course, of what happened last night, of course. Again, your guys' more thoughts on, of course, the win last night and pretty much Liverpool qualifying for the last 16 of the Champions League, of course. And I know the Champions League is currently going on before anybody says anything, but still, look, we kind of have an idea of where things will be next week. And I'm telling you what, the rest of the Champions League table is very much looking very tasty, let's say, in terms of, again, obviously potential qualifications, obviously teams potentially not even getting into the qualifying stage of things, of course, but we'll talk all about that in tonight's episode, of course. Anyway, if you're new around here, of course, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all of that good stuff as well, anyway. But of course, we had to talk, of course, things about from last night, of course. Obviously, like we said, Liverpool beating Lille by 2-1, which, again, 24 hours on from it, again, was a good result. I still think it was a great result in terms of, again, Liverpool not particularly playing well. Again, watching a few highlights back today and seeing, a few odds and ends where you look at it and go, oh, Liverpool could have done better there. We could have maybe even killed the game off in many ways. But I think, as Arne Slot even said himself, like Liverpool had the opportunities. Sorry, chat, mate. Liverpool had the opportunities to, of course, kill the game, but we also had stages as well where, again, we could have been, again, punished elsewhere, of course, as well. But like we said yesterday, in terms of, again, Liverpool getting the win, that's the main important thing. Mo Salah back, getting, to 50 European goals, which, again, is outrageous. And when you actually look at the list that Mo Salah is in terms of, again, what now he's achieved in terms of, again, just the names itself, again, it's outrageous. And again, just reading, I've got the list in front of me now, and it's ridiculous. The amount of people that is on the list. Of course, you got Ronaldo, Messi, Lewandowski, Benzema, Raul, Van Nistelrooy, Shevchenko, Thomas Muller, Thierry Henry, and then Mo Salah as top European goal scorer, which, again, when you look at it like that, again, I still find it funny when people don't rate Mo as highly as some of the names that we've just mentioned. Again, you can probably think, hopefully, by the time Mo Salah is finished at Liverpool, you would like to think like Mo would be around, again, the Van Nistelrooy, names potentially, of course, but again, for him to be, joint ninth at the moment with Thierry Henry in terms of European goals, I think, again, just goes to show, like, again, for me, he's very much underrated for what we get from Mo Salah, and particularly as well, where, again, people don't give him the credit that he deserves. In my opinion, anyway, I don't think people give him enough credit for what he actually is and what he has achieved in his Liverpool career. Anyway, but of course, speaking mainly, of course, on the first goal in particular. Now, I'm trying new things, chat, so please bear with me. So, as you can see, there's me big Ed. But if I quickly move it there we go. Now you can see me. So, yeah, so of course this was leading up to the first goal. Again, obviously, sorry if it is a bit blurry, but again, we are working with new stuff anyway. But again, this was leading up to the first goal. Obviously, I know Lille wanted a foul in the build-up, which, again, was never, ever going to be the case. Which, again, I think looking at, obviously Lille's record, obviously in the Champions League, and obviously in the French league as well, the disciplinary record was actually pretty sound. Obviously they did get a red card last night as well, but of course leading up to the first goal, and one guy I didn't mention last night that, again, it's kind of bad that I didn't mention him last night, was Curtis Jones. I think this pass in particular, obviously this is the pass that does break through the lines that, of course, as you can see on the next slide, that, again, puts the ball through to Mo Salah to get Mo, of course, his 50th Champions League goal. But for Liverpool, I should say, anyway. But the thing for me that is crucial here, and of course, this is a big period. Of course, Liverpool winning the turnover and again counter-attacking quite high up in that sense. We've done this so many times this season where it doesn't matter, where we are on the pitch. Even yesterday, Liverpool caught Lille quite high up the pitch, where we was able to counter-attack and able to, of course, punish them. And we've punished teams this season, very good from again countering very high and getting the break in terms of the counter press and being able to again break teams down in that sense. But we've known, and I've said on the channel that Curtis Jones takes forever on the ball, and he does. And one thing we've always said that he needs to just release it, because again, the ability that he does have, again, if he can quickly switch it on or quickly make a pass here and there, he could be again one of the best players or one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. But as of things right now, there is certain occasions where he takes too long. Now, we've always said this, that if he can phase that out of his game, again, like I said, he'd be one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. But this last night was a good example of him just quickly getting his head up, putting the ball through, and just seeing Mo Salah putting the ball through and quickly getting Mo Salah in behind, one simple pass, and then again Liverpool scoring again another good counter-attacking goal, which again, obviously I know plenty of people will go, oh, it's just typical Liverpool, win the ball back, quick counter attack, Mo Salah taps it in, and it was that as well. It was that type of goal, but also we did see there was another part as well. I haven't clipped it up. It was another goal with another shot on target where Mo had something similar, and Mo again he didn't do he didn't slot it in. But I think that the key thing is Curtis Jones's pass, and I think to be fair, you have to give him credit, because if he takes a quick second, I do think the midfielder just in front of Curtis Jones, I think he does block that, and then Liverpool again, obviously yesterday in terms of the build up was a bit slow. That could then have been a problem for us. But again, fair play to Curtis Jones in getting Mo Salah his goal, because look, at the end of the day, Mo Salah, is very much the case of, you instantly know he's going to, go up top, he's going to cut in between the lines, and he's going to go towards goal. Of course he is. It's Mo Salah. Again, I think Virgil van Dijk has said in the past how good Mo Salah is in terms of Virgil can literally just ping a pass and he'll know instantly where Mo Salah is. He doesn't even have to get his head up. He knows exactly where he is. And I think that's something as well where the partnerships, I think, in terms of the combinations for Liverpool, I think is very much underrated for what we see at the football club. I think, we've seen it in the past where, again, you've had the Trent, crossfield ball to Robbo, or you've seen Virgil doing it to Mo, or, likewise, where I think, I think Ibu did one at the start of the game yesterday, where Liverpool have not Ibu, sorry, Joel Konza. I think Liverpool have been fortunate enough to have the centre backs available and even have the players available that, again, can ping a pass 30-40 yards and cut a block of the defense and a block of midfield out, which I think, look, overall is a great thing for us. But I would still say Liverpool, certainly when we did go, of course, when we did go 1-1, Liverpool are lacking that type of player that can just cut, like a Thiago, who can just make that cutthroat pass. Sorry, again, McAllister can do it, and he can do it at a very good, ability. But I do think Liverpool kind of miss a specialist in that sense, like Thiago. Like I very much would have loved to have seen Thiago in this system under Arne Slot and seen how he would have been used. But of course, obviously, with Thiago's hip injury, that was never going to happen, realistically anyway. But big up Hero as well. Hopefully doing well, mate, as well. But no, look, I think overall, obviously, the first goal was a really, really good goal. But again, the one problem for me, and I think for Arne Slot as well, was that one chance, one goal, and it was that yesterday. Looking at Lille's overall chances, they didn't really create that much. Looking at it yesterday and watching the game yesterday, it wasn't great, from Lille, even though again, and I've given them a lot of praise over the last 2 days, especially because of, again, them being, again, 21 games unbeaten. And pretty much you could tell, defensively, I thought yesterday you could tell why they've been 21 games unbeaten, and they've been unbeaten since late September. I think the last team to actually beat them was Sporting, and I think it was Ruben Amorim Sporting as well. But again, looking at it going forwards, again, they had 0.49 on XG. They had no big chances created. They had 4 total shots the entire game, and that was pretty much their attacking output. Again, they had 4. They had 4 shots, and that was the goal included in that. All 3 of the other shots were either blocked or missed on goal, and it was that just one chance, one goal, and that for me is a problem for Liverpool going forward. Arne Slot, if I'd go and recommend it, to everyone, of Arne Slot yesterday speaking about it, and of course, it's speaking mainly on this again and this type of situation that Liverpool find themselves at the moment, where for some reason we just seem to concede stupid goals at the moment from this type of situation, where 1 minute we are again comfortable, again in this position, Liverpool are comfortable. Obviously, Conor Bradley against the Lille midfielder on a 1v1, and then somehow he gets ahead of Conor Bradley, and we just capitulate, once again. And again, looking off that still image, again, goes to the byline and puts a ball across the goal. And then, Jonathan David is there to, again, clear up and get another goal for him, which this season, again, I think that was his 18th goal in all competitions this season. And that's something for me, again, that is a worry. And it is a true worry, because and again, I know people this season, I think me included in this as well, have been a bit concerned with Alisson, and Alisson's comeback, to the squad. And look, this goal wasn't Ali's fault at all. But I think when you look at the conversion rate, since he's been back, Alisson, again, he's not like we've seen over the years where he's prevented Liverpool from conceding 10 plus goals in a single season, which is outrageous by any goalkeeper in the world. But so far, since I think he's been back, I think the statistics are pretty negative with that. And again, of course, that depends on, and it doesn't look great either when, again, Liverpool are conceding from one shot on target, and that is the real shame about it, realistically. But for this goal, I don't blame Ali at all. The 2 people that are at fault for this, again, are the fullbacks. Conor Bradley, again, is a bit unlucky, I would say, in terms of this. Again, you can see him in that still image there. Again, putting the player down the byline, which is correct. Obviously, Konza is covering it, but again, it's a great cutback from the midfielder. And again, I think obviously there was a shot deflected in this time, which then of course puts Alisson on the floor, and it's pretty much an open goal then for Jonathan David to put away. But I think in that, I think I didn't save the one still image where Costas deflects it, and again it's quick, at him. But again, I think he can do a lot better in that sense. And again, Liverpool concede off of that, and of course, this was after the red card as well. Liverpool were comfortable, of course, being 1-0 up, red card as well. Like, we should have been very comfortable in this situation where we've seen Liverpool, pretty much play out games, from there. And obviously, game management in terms of, again, Liverpool not risking things and not being too worried in that sense. But when things like this happen, again, the atmosphere kind of changed yesterday, certainly at Anfield, where you kind of feel like, oh crap, Liverpool might be in trouble by our way, kind of like the energy levels went down. But I feel like this goal, certainly against Lille last night, I think you could go back at the last probably 10 goals Liverpool conceded in all competitions, and the goals are very similar at the minute. Certainly, at Anfield, we've seen this type of goal at against Manchester United, for example, where again, they went to the byline, cut it across the goal, fullback didn't clear it correctly, and then it ends up being 2-2 for Liverpool Man United, and that for me was again quite similar last night, and that's probably something we need to work on. 100% we need to. Anyway, but big up Damo as well, saying Mo was sensational in passage of play where he plucked the ball out of the air, manifested past the defender when using his body, strengthened to hold off defenders, as close the goal, then mucked up his shot as well. Yeah, that was the goal I was on about, where he should have scored and then just didn't as well, which, yeah, it is a bit of a shame, to be fair anyway. But obviously one guy I did want to speak about as well tonight was Harvey Elliott, and again, obviously, a lot of noise has been made around Harvey, around his future. Last night on TNT, speaking again quite quite highly on terms of the club, and speaking about it's his club, he doesn't want to go anywhere. Again, he doesn't really listen to the noise. Of course, obviously, everybody knows the celebration that he used for Liverpool last night, and that is something for me that, again, I love that in a player, even though he's not playing week in, week out, or he's not potentially the number one guy for Arne Slot in the 10. He's still determined to be the number one guy for Liverpool in the position. He wants to be in the manager's plans. He wants to be at the football club. He loves the football club. And I do think Harvey Elliott has been underused this season, but I think even he said being injured for the first 3 months of the season did derail a lot of the work that they had done in pre-season. And they had done a lot of work. You look at the first 3 or 4 pre-season games, Harvey Elliott was at the base of that, and then I think did he go away to England under 21s and then broke his foot? Like that, it just completely ruined him. But now, second half of the season, we're seeing, of course, him be a lot more better. Certainly the last 2 games, come off the bench and being that impactful sub. As Hero said there, Elliott's fault on the goal. What I saw, Elliott's fault on the goal. What do you mean? Do you mean the goal we conceded? Let me know what you mean. But for me, for his goal, when you look at the shot that he took, and I've got the screenshots, but to be fair, I might be in the way from actually looking at it. There we go. So there we go. So yeah, there we go. Let me quickly move myself out the way. But for me, from this position, you go, oh, he's going to score an absolute wonder goal now, and he's going to be, completely, outrageous. And then it ends up being a deflective shot, which is not really great when you look back at it. But even still, him getting his goal, that's the main important thing that I think all of us care about, is him, again, getting his goal, being able to, of course, get another goal involvement for Liverpool, which is great. But even still, being that impactful sub, like we've mentioned over the years, for Harvey Elliott, and he has been that for us. Let's be perfectly honest here. Harvey last season, I think he got, was it 10 goals, 10 assists last season, in all competitions. Again, that's absolutely outrageous. On the goal we conceded, didn't see his goal was a deflected. Right, it was deflected. To be fair, I don't think he was at fault for the goal for myself, but again, I have to look back at it. But I do think he for me needs to be now the second number 10 for Liverpool. He 100% needs to be. Like, I know people will say, Curtis Jones has been better this season and this, that, and the other. For me, Curtis Jones needs to be the backup for McAllister, and that's it. I think there's certain games where in the 10 he works, but I think if you need a goal or you're chasing a game, I feel like Harvey Elliott is your man this season for Liverpool. Like, again, like we said, he's got 2 goal involvements now in 2 games for Liverpool. Obviously, got an assist for Darwin Núñez against Brentford, gets a goal against Lille that wins Liverpool the game. And as we've seen over the last probably 12 to 18 months, he's been a very impactful player for Liverpool, where, again, if Liverpool need a goal or assist, Harvey Elliott's there to be the guy. And of course, I think all of us last season said that Harvey Elliott was a lot better last season coming off the bench and being that impactful sub for Liverpool, which, again, we've not seen this season. We've had very big impacts coming off the bench. Pretty much, every game Liverpool have been 1-0 down in, we've made some sort of alteration that's completely changed us. And then we've gone on to win 2-1, 3-1, or so on. And we've done that without Harvey Elliott so far this season. So once Arne Slot brings him into the fold and brings him to be that guy again that can add alongside for example, like a Luis Diaz who's on the bench potentially, a Federico Chiesa who last night looked very, very sharp, and hopefully has turned the corner in terms of fitness for Liverpool. Again, he looked sharp against Brentford. He looked sharp against Lille last night. So again, Liverpool are building on players now in terms of, we've relied on Mo Salah, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo in the forward line in particular, where we've relied on them three players to of course build us up to the position we currently is at. But I'm hoping now that we're seeing more of a kind of a split trajectory in terms of the players and the attacking players, where we'll see more now from Dom Szoboszlai, we'll see more from Harvey Elliott, Chiesa, Gakpo, Diaz, Jota when he's hopefully back, Darwin Núñez. Hopefully we've seen the best out of him now for the rest of the season. And again, you've got the quality of Mo Salah again, who last night didn't really have an outstanding performance, but got a goal. And I think that's the main important thing for Liverpool, that even on the weekend now, if you can take Mo Salah off for a Chiesa to rest him, or even play Harvey Elliott right wing, I would do that. If Liverpool are 3-4-0 up, but on the 60th minute or the 65th minute, I take Mo Salah off, because again, if you can rest him up for half an hour, and then go again then next week in the Champions League, again, that'll be perfect for Liverpool. And I think just building up from that will be crucial for of course the long run. And of course we won't see that effect straight away, but come the end of the season, where we're trying to win games and we're trying to pull through certain situations, of course we're going to need that. We're going to need those minutes, where last season we completely got destroyed because we had to rely on so many players staying fit, because the ones that were constantly injured would come back, get injured, come back, get injured. Where this season, we've kind of been fortunate in certain injuries. Ibu got injured, but we had Konza, we had Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is now out injured. We've got Ibu back. Konza is still there. Wataru Endo is being used a lot more. Similar with Harvey Elliott. Szoboszlai and Jones was rotating a little bit in that position. I think the one position for me that, again, of course, would need addressing, hopefully in January, but of course that's never going to happen now. But what would be, Gravenberch, but I think last night we did see again, Wataru Endo had a very good, 30-minute appearance, and had a very good game. It was a very solid game from Wataru Endo. Should have probably had a shot as well from about 40 yards out. But look, Liverpool, that we are now starting to see Arne Slot use more of the squad. And at the moment, you hope everyone can stay fit, touch wood, but you hope that in the next, even against Ipswich, maybe we might rotate a little bit, and see then again players getting the opportunity, we banging in form, and then you look at the whole squad and you go, Arne Slot's got a real headache on his hands, because he doesn't know who to pick from, and that's what I want. I want, for me anyway, I want the entire squad being available and being fit and firing on all cylinders, because that realistically improves your squad. It makes the squad 10 times better as well anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts, of course, in the comments. But Damo says Elliot can see and threat as a sustainable pass in and around the box to put teammates in dangerous positions. Great vision and creativity. Yeah, it is 100%. And we kind of missed that player. Where again you look through Europe and you look at teams like, for example, like Man City got, Phil Foden, who can do that for Hazard. You've got, Chelsea, Cole Palmer does that pretty much for Chelsea and everything else, to be fair. But and even Arsenal, they've got a Mesut Ozil who's supposed to be the guy that threads balls in behind, and and of course then Saka or Martinelli attacks them as well. And Liverpool, even though I think Dom has that, I feel like Harvey Elliott is more of a he's more of a kind of like an aerodynamic player where he's again he's down to the ground. You can kind of I said it the other day, I think he's kind of like that messy type body in that sense where, he can, again, shuffle from defenders, he can do the quick 1-2s. I think with Dom, he can take the ball on and again can deliver a great pass, but he can also drive with the ball, which I think, again, Harvey can do, but I don't think he can do that as good as Dom, for example, as well, which look, at the end of the day, Liverpool got great quality in both positions to deal with, which again, overall is great for Liverpool overall. But of course, certain things we need to work on. Like I said, in terms of defensively, again, the one shot and one goal that needs to stop. Because even though defensively this season we've been really good overall, the last, the last few games and the last kind of, would we say 10 games, chat, that Liverpool have really been in, we've really conceded stupid amount of goals. Like, and taking a look at it now, like again, Lille, we conceded a goal. Forest, as Arne Slot said, we had one chance that we conceded from. Obviously, Accrington, we kept a clean sheet. Spurs away, we ended up losing that game, conceding a stupid chance. Man United, two stupid opportunities there that we conceded from. Obviously, West Ham clean sheet. Leicester game, even that game, stupid chance. Even the Spurs game, a couple of, right at the end of December, that's 6-3. Realistically, that should never have been 6-3. It should have been quite easily Liverpool winning that game 6-1 or even 6-0, let's be perfectly honest. And we just gave up towards the end. And obviously, Liverpool went on to score more goals. But Liverpool need to go on a run where you look at, for example, like from the beginning of November, we went from, beating Bayer Leverkusen 4-0, we beat Villa 2-0. All right, we do concede 2 away to Southampton, but then we end up winning against Real Madrid and Manchester City without conceding a goal. And realistically, we didn't really concede many chances in both of them games. And we kind of need to go back to that, I do feel, because again, going forward, Liverpool are the best team in Europe. Statistically, we are. Looking at the XG rates, Liverpool are bound to score 3 goals a game, which is outrageous. But defensively, again, we need to be sharp in that sense, for me at least anyway, where we need to kill out the stupid stuff in that sense. And once we do that, again, I can't see Liverpool conceding a goal or many goals at all. But where do you see Virgil getting a game off? Currently don't at the minute, Hero. I think probably Plymouth. I think I would probably say, looking at the fixtures coming up, yeah, I would probably say Plymouth, because, and see, this is the thing, if Liverpool were ahead going into that second leg against Spurs, I would say Liverpool, again, would be, what might have considered resting Virgil, but there's no chance we do that. No, like Liverpool are going to go full in on that game and try and turn that 1-0 over, because we know what Spurs will do. Spurs will literally park the bus, try everything they can do to stop Liverpool, But again, I fully expect Liverpool to go full strength with that. But you look at the fixtures coming up. We've got Ipswich now on the weekend, PSV where Liverpool need a draw. I don't think Virgil's going to get a rest in that personally. But we've got Bournemouth away then on the Saturday. Spurs, like I said, Plymouth, and then Everton away, Wolves at home, Man City away. So I think Plymouth is probably the next one that you will get, and that'll probably be Virgil's only rest, unfortunately. I would say, but there's no way we can let Spurs leave without putting a few past them as well. Well, that's the thing. Like, we said that though in the first half. Not first half, sorry, the first leg. We said that in the first leg that we 100% should have won that game, and I don't think Liverpool deserved to lose that game, but we didn't. We definitely didn't deserve to win the game. And judging from Spurs fans' perspective, like that was one of pretty much like imagine how we felt after Barcelona. That's how Spurs fans felt. Just judging from social media and judging from YouTube and so on, like that's how they felt after that game, which for me I think is kind of like really like I know it's Spurs and I know people do that, but I look at it and I go like that game should never have ended in it somebody winning. It was an awful game, for both Liverpool and Spurs. It was awful. But I do think them coming to Anfield, especially with I think the way the first leg went, they'll feel like a European night. And I do think it will feel like a European night, for sure. Anyway, but Hero says there's no way. Yeah, I read down notes. Apologies. Daniel says City were 2-0 up versus PSG, now 2-2, and PSG just smacked the crossbar. Are they Arsenal in disguise as well? We can't mention that. Cannot mention that, mate. As well, anyway. But no, I know obviously looking at the Champions League table, I did look at it earlier. But looking at it now and looking at the results, Milan winning. I know Arsenal 2-0 up now anyway. But again, Madrid winning 5-0. Everyone turning up now for Real Madrid. In that sense, Inter pretty much qualified. But realistically, you look at that. You look at it now. Obviously, City are still on. Obviously, to qualify for the playoff stage anyway. But even still, if PSG do get a winner now, Man City could be out to the Champions League, which that would be embarrassing for of course Manchester City. But look, if that was to be the case, happy days, realistically. But big up Ozan as well, saying big up the man Connor as well. Hope he's doing well, my friend. Anyway, but no, look, just speaking more on the game overall, I do think Liverpool have done well in this Champions League, where again we've not been totally perfect. I know people go like, oh, like Liverpool will be number one seeds if we get a point next week to PSV, and technically that will help Liverpool because again, obviously you being the top seed, you're constantly going to be at home for the second leg. Of course, the rest of the stages, which is great. The fact we're at Anfield for the second leg all the time, but you look at it and look at the teams that Liverpool could face. At the minute, you've got, and this is just, of course, judging from the table it is right now. In the playoffs, you've got, I think, looking at it right now, you've got, Villa would play Monaco, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. That would be a huge game. Such a huge game. And I think if PSG just scored, they have just scored. PSG are 3-2 up. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's we don't talk about that, do we? That's pretty funny, to be fair. We were just talking about it as well, but we can easily get a draw with PSV. Yeah, but of course, Barcelona have to win as well. I don't know who Barca have got after that, amazing comeback last night. away to Benfica. Watching some of the goals, mind, then Jesus Christ, I don't know how some of the things happened, but like, we don't know how that happens. But no, like looking at it now, they've got Atalanta. So even still, if Atalanta get a point or even beat Barcelona, then look, Liverpool will go through as league table winners, if you want to really say like that. But overall, I think Liverpool have been the best team in the Champions League this season. Again, only conceding 2 goals, scoring 15, got a goal difference of plus 13. But when you do actually look at the teams as well, look at Inter Milan. Like I'm looking at it now, Inter Milan have they've gone 7 games, they've won 5, they've drawn 1, lost 1, they've scored 8 goals only, and only conceded 1. Like, wow, like that is a really good going, like really, really good going. But even still, like looking at the top 8 now, obviously Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal are pretty much guaranteed qualification, I think. Inter Milan, the same. Atletico Madrid's, from Atletico Madrid down, like at the moment, of course, they're on 15 points, but you could, of course, Bayern Munich are currently losing, I think, as well to Feyenoord. But from 5th place down to 16th, it could completely switch in an instant, and that is going to be exciting next week to keep up with it as well. But Zane says Joe Neves has just scored, by the way, 3-2 PSG. Thank you, Zane, for that. Before PSG just scored, they had 12 shots to City's 3. Jesus, could you imagine Man City out the Champions League? That would be amazing as well. Where Liverpool win the Premier League and the Champions League, and Man City just completely bottle it up as per usual. I say as per usual. To be fair, it's nice seeing where they are anyway. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts, of course, on the game last night. Let me know your guys' overall thoughts on it. For me, I think obviously the big things, like we've already spoke through, like this episode, I think the big things Liverpool need to sort out mainly is, of course, again, the chances. One big chance that Lille created, they end up scoring from it. That could cost Liverpool in other games. Luckily, obviously, like we've spoken about Harvey Elliott scoring the winner for Liverpool. Obviously, Mo Salah, again, his 50th European goal for Liverpool. But that could cost us in other games, like it has done, like a Forest, where, home and away, they had one big chance, scored from it, and Liverpool, they took 4 points off of us for the end of this season. That, it isn't great at all, but also it's that sense of, it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because Liverpool, the fact that we're only conceding from one big chance is great, but also the fact that, probably 9 games out of 10, Liverpool are outscoring teams as well. But that 10th game will come around now and again. And I don't think this season it will matter too much, because I do think, the teams are dropping points, in terms of Arsenal, Chelsea, City, for example. But next season, I think once teams strengthen again, and once, hopefully we strengthen again, that's something we need to improve on going forward, because, again, next season it might go back up to, Liverpool might need 95 points to win a Premier League title. I think this season Liverpool need 90 points. If Liverpool got guaranteed 90 points, that wins you the title. I think this season that will do it. I think obviously in previous seasons you've needed the top end of 90 odd points to do it, but I think high 80s, 90 points maximum, it will win you a Premier League title this year. And looking at the numbers for that, Arsenal pretty much have to go unbeaten now the entire season. And as well, when you look at it, they have to come away to Anfield. They have to do this. They have to do that. Like, again, Liverpool are in a very, very good position, but we have to keep up with our own stuff. We have to keep on, not focusing on other teams and just focus on ourselves. Again, the game in hand now against Everton coming up, that'll be huge. We've got big away games against Bournemouth, City. Again, if Liverpool get wins away to them. Again, Liverpool, for me, will go on and win the Premier League title. But obviously, if Arsenal win games and Liverpool kind of, draw or lose a game, of course, that will cause controversy. It'll cause conversation. But I think as long as Liverpool, again, just do our own business, I think we beat Arsenal at Anfield. I think we could go away to City and beat them, even though our record at the Etihad is pretty poor. But even still, I think Liverpool can beat every team in Europe this season. We've proved that once already. Again, beating Madrid, beating City in the same week. But I do think if Liverpool play their cards correctly, we could win not a quadruple. What am I on about? We can't win a quadruple, but we could win. We can win the Carabao Cup, as I was meant to say. We can win the Carabao Cup. And I do think then we can push for a Champions League and a Premier League. We can easily do that. But it's, again, the FA Cup, when we went for the quadruple season, the FA Cup destroyed the squad. And it did. But we need to, again, keep on that. And again, centre-backs is the main issue as well in terms of fitness and in terms of, again, keeping them fit. That'll be the main important thing as well anyway. But big up Gary as well, saying Tally Ocon. Liverpool must beat Ipswich this weekend. 100% agree. Con thoughts on Ipswich signing Julio. I can never say his last name. Inciso, is it? Or Incenso? Again, yeah, good signing, to be fair. We'll keep them occupied, winning that 10 position for him. But again, obviously great for Brighton because, he gets experience now in the Premier League and, will develop even more. So it'd be interesting anyway. But Liverpool will be champions by March. Connor. Well, again, I've said it right. Liverpool, for me, I would preferably love Liverpool to be league champions by. Hang on a minute, because I did see the date. So I would love Liverpool to be champions by the 26th of April. For me, confirmed, done. Because our last 5 games of the season is horrid, and I mean horrid. Like if we were playing, like if this was a season like we've seen in past years where Liverpool and City are going toe to toe. Like we've got Spurs at home on the 26th of April. We've then got Chelsea away. We play Arsenal at home on the 10th of May. We've got Brighton away and then Crystal Palace at home. Like they are very, very tough games. They're not easy games by any means. They're very, very tough games. And even like we've seen last season, Palace beat us last year at Anfield. And that was mainly the game where, we had so many chances and didn't score from it. Arsenal, if Arsenal have even a sniff of a percentage to upset the party, of course, they'll do everything possible for that. But for me, I want the league done before then. I want, again, but I even say that, we've got tough games, Everton away, Everton at home, Villa away, Newcastle, City. Like, again, very, very tough games coming up. But I believe in the boys. And I hopefully believe that, we can get things wrapped up very quickly. Anyway, but that's just my rough report anyway. But I hope he doesn't score on us at Anfield. I hope he doesn't. Neither. I don't know whether or not he'll be eligible to play though, because I know it was agreed. Is it gone right through though? With the signing. What you saying, Ryan? You want about Ryan Jersky from Leon? No, not for me. Gary, like I said, Ryan Jersky for me, player-wise and what he's supposedly capable of, looks very good, but attitude-wise and player to the squad, I just don't think he's a player for Liverpool. For me, anyway, at least anyway. But I did want to quickly show you guys something anyway before we do shoot off for tonight. So this is a video that we're going to be doing maybe tomorrow, but it is definitely in the works. Anyway, I don't know whether or not we're going to do it live or whether or not we're going to do it, as a video. But there's the video. So, or there's the thumbnail for the video. Anyway, of course, dream signings. A little, little sneak peek for you guys. Of course, we're going to be talking, of course, about midfielders. And of course, we're going to be talking, of course, dream signings in the midfield that I think Liverpool should go after or Liverpool should go and get. Anyway, that's a video we're probably going to do. What day is it tomorrow? It's Thursday tomorrow. We probably will do it tomorrow, of course. Anyway, so that'll be tomorrow's episode for you guys. We're going to be talking about, anyway, of course, unless anything does break or, again, we're talking about something else or other bits of news, of course, anyway. But that'll be the episode for tomorrow for you guys. But Connor, would you sign right? Yeah, like I said, no. For me, no, Con Shersky has a horrendous injury record. It isn't half bad, but again, he would be another Arthur Mello. So I don't think he'd be that bad. I just think his attitude, just listening from what people have said, but then again, don't judge a book by its again, if certain people are saying, like, look at, there's been signings for Liverpool in the past where you go, oh, I can't understand that, but they've been amazing, and again, if the club thinks they're good and a good signing, then I'm all for it, realistically. But it just doesn't fit anything we need. We don't need a 10. We don't need wingers. We don't need attackers at the minute. But it's another one of them opportunity signings, you could say, because of the transfer fee. But yeah, I think I would say he goes to Bayern. For judging from the latest people talking, then yeah, I think he goes to Bayern. Anyway, but I'm gonna leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, big thank you for everyone for tuning in to the show. Of course, Gary's gone. One would sign Connor in the 6th role. I wish I could play for Liverpool in the 6th role. It'd be amazing. Anyway, of course, maybe I can go and do it on FM. Anyway, but look, hopefully you guys have enjoyed tonight's show. Like I said, this is kind of like a preview for you guys for tomorrow, for the show that we're going to be doing, and that's the thumbnail for tonight. But yeah, no, look, we're going to be any news, of course, will be live for it, of course, anyway. But again, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your evenings. Hopefully you have enjoyed tonight's episode. If you have, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are on the road to 2K. Of course, we're up after that before the end of the season. But again, if you even like the video, it does massively help out the channel. And yeah, if you could, be very much appreciated as always. But until tomorrow, guys, I'll see you guys then. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you guys later on. Ta-ra.